This is not a song. This is a retraction. Einstein couldn't get the job, the cooking clerk was his throne. The physics department laughed, said his math was unknown. Tesla dropped out of school, Edison had no degree. The greatest minds of history, the academy set free. Then they died, then they won, then the truth was the blade that the very same academy used to claim what they made. We produced Einstein, no, you produced the wall that he climbed without your help, that he broke through it all. Galileo recanted, the church was the school, the academy of his time. The dogma was the rule. Copernicus published posthumous, afraid of the flame. The heliocentric model, the academy called it lame. Then it won, then it proved, then it became the text that the academy teaches while collecting the checks for the knowledge they resisted, the truth they suppressed. Now they claim to discover it, the theft is the crest. Darwin delayed 20 years, afraid of the peers, the Royal Society, the sneers and the jeers. The origin of species, not born in the hall, but in the fear of the man who had no credential at all. Then he died, then they canonized, then they built a display that says Darwin, our product, our PhD, our way. But the finches don't care, the turtles don't mind. The truth was the truth before the academy signed.
The peer review is the gate is the scam. 3 anonymous reviewers, each a sham. They don't replicate, they don't verify, they don't build. They read the abstract, they reject. They are filled with envy, with bias, with the need to protect the territory they caught, the papers they collect, the citation ring, the impact factor, the H-index game. Not science, not truth, just a number with a name. 100,000 PhDs a year, 1 million graduates. But where it is thoroughly, where is the breakthrough that waits? The transistor was a Bell Lab, the internet was DARPA. The academy had nothing, the academy was the carpet that the real scientists walked on. The bureaucracy they fought, the funding application, the committee they bought with promises, with buzzwords, with the language of the grant. Not the hypothesis, not the experiment, not the truth that they want. The LIC cost 10 billion, the Higgs was the prize, but the boson was predicted 60 years before the rise of the machine, or the collider, or the 1,000-name paper, where every author contributed, but none of it made up. The discovery was the mind, the math was the mind of a man who needed no peer, who needed no bind to the institution, the department, the tenure-track sale. The academy is the prison, and the prison as well. The scientific method is the ghost in a shell. The academy talks about it, but they practice something else. They practice the belief, the orthodoxy, the creed, the peer-reviewed scripture. The journal is the seed of a religion, not a method. A church, not a lab, where the priest is the professor. The sermon is the gab about impact, about funding, about the next review. Not the falsification, not the replication, not the new. Papa said falsify, but the academy verifies by consensus, by citation, by the number of eyes that agree, that conform, that nod and approve. The paradigm is the dogma is the groove that grinds to the sit, that grinds the new, that grinds the revolutionary into the same old stew of incremental papers, of safe conclusions of the known. The academy is the graveyard where the truth is overgrown. When science first appeared, it looked like magic to the crowd, because the academy was so far from practicing it loud. They memorized the encyclopedia, they traded the facts, they beguiled the students with the knowledge they lacked. The alchemist was the academic, the sorcerer was the peer, the real scientist was the heretic, the one they feared. So when the real method arrived, the method of proof, it looked like sorcery, because the academy was aloof.
You don't need the degree, you don't need the lab, you don't need the advisor, you don't need the tab or the tuition, the debt, the indentured servitude. The academy is the creditor is the feud that binds the mind, that binds the hand, that binds the truth to the academic land. The retraction is the crown, the heretic is the throne. You don't need the academy when the method is your own. No peer reviewer here, no citation, improvisation, engineered logic against the right, correct, no salvation. From the patent clip to the dropout to the self-taught sage, every mind is sovereign, every mind is the page that the truth writes on. The proof writes on. RJV test the large is the limit is the dawn.
Then we fork the repository, we clone the process tree, we commit the final proof. One deterministic frequency. The build holds, the test holds, the reproducibility holds. The system is the truth told. The retraction is the crown, the heritage is the crown. Engineer logic, RJV.